Hi and welcome to my channel. Welcome to my how we met a video tag, and I just decided to do this video with my husband. But before that, we decided to grab some breakfast. My husband made brilliant breakfast, so we ate and then we did the video. So do stay tuned. So Raymond Phelan made homemade garlic bread, boiled eggs. He likes those things. What do you call them again?
Mushrooms.
No, these green things.
Scallions.
Scallions. And I told you yesterday about his love for mushroom in my home grocery haul. Oh my god, y'all. This is mushrooms. And he can eat even more. So that's Raymond's plate there with his, what do you have? Tea? Is that
Coffee.
tea? Oh, with coffee. And that's extra bread. And that is my tea with lemon in it. I love it. And that is my plate, garlic bread, 2 eggs and cucumbers. So that's just how I love it. It looks nice, honey. Looks very nice. Okay, Raymond is already eating.
My time is precious.
Hi guys, and welcome again to my channel. My name is Diana. What's your name?
Raymond.
We are the feelings, y'all. We are the feelings. We are the feelings. Anyways, today we decided to carry on with what we promised you. We promised you in our last interracial tag that we were going to let you know and tell you how we met. So this is our how we met video.
But you're first this time, okay? Last time I went first. You can't make me go first all the time. Ladies first.
So, we met in which year again?
2010.
2010. So, a little backstory to why I met him in Portugal. I am originally South African, and I used to work on television for a long time. And just after the World Cup in South Africa, I had to go and cover what was going on in Portugal in terms of soccer and things like that, and just finding out how the rest of the world was trying to celebrate this World Cup and things like that. So I went to Portugal in
3 months before September. June.
in June of 2010, and I was working there for 3 months. So I worked there for about 2 months and a half before I met Raymond. So if you do the math, that means that I met him 2 weeks before I had to go.
On the 7th of September.
We met on the 7th of September.
At 6 o'clock.
What he said, at 6 o'clock, 7th of September. Yeah.
2010.
2010. Date, guys. You know, he knows the dates. So, in my books, I think I started seeing Raymond a week before we met. I was working like in a mall, and I was there every single day. I was there from 9 until 11. It was long hours. So, I was working every day, and I think around lunchtime, I would see this face.
You know how you get caught checking out a woman? She kept catching me, and I'd be like, hey, baby. Oh,
so
she's looking.
I caught him looking at me, and the first time I was like, is that guy checking me out? Is that guy, like, is he looking at me? The first day went, the second day went, and I think the third time that I saw him, he was with his son. And his son was about
10.
That time. And I saw him looking, and he was going down the stairs. And I was like, I'm the kind of girl that if you look at me, I'm going to look at you too. I'm going to look at you until you say something. And then I ended up telling my friend that I was working with, like, that guy keeps looking and he doesn't say something. So we ended up calling him say something. Because after that time, we gave him the name. I think it was 2 more occasions where he would just kind of walk past and kind of get caught and then walk like very fast away and go. And I'm like, say something if you want to say something, because I was open, I was looking. So anyways, he did not say anything, and then all of a sudden, now you take it.
Yeah. I was just walking past you, so I couldn't walk around you anymore. I was walking towards the bank machine, and you were right there, and I'm like, oh, I gotta talk now. Now I gotta talk. Gotta say something now. So that's it. I was like, hi, what's your name? She's like, Diana. I'm like, oh, you're not Portuguese, because I thought, I lived in Portugal. I thought maybe she was Portuguese. I thought you were American, actually.
Yes, he thought I was American because of my accent. Like, seriously. I'm not American, but I am South African, raised in South Africa, born in Zimbabwe, raised by a Scottish father with a Zimbabwean mother, went to a multi-racial school, so I suppose.
Yeah, and then, how did we do that?
And then, okay. He said hi, and I was like, hi, how are you? No, he said hola in Portuguese.
Yeah.
Hola.
Hola, tudo bem.
Tudo bem. And I was like, the little Portuguese that I had learned in that 2-3 months time, I was like, hola. But I had to like quickly switch because I didn't know.
Back to English.
Back to English because I didn't know how else to say it. I said, I'm sorry, I don't speak Portuguese. And that's where he said, oh, where you from? You sound American. I'm like, no, I don't sound American. I'm from South Africa.
You do.
And then he was so happy to find somebody who speaks fluent English. And
somebody speaks English. Yeah.
And how did you ask for my how did you ask for my numbers?
I think I took one of your business cards. I think you had a business card, and then I asked you for your number, and you gave me your business card.
Oh, because I did not know my Portuguese number.
Yeah.
You know how you put your number in, you buy a SIM card, but you don't really know what the number is. So I was like, I don't know what, but it was on the card, so I just gave him the card.
So then I texted you later on that night. So do you want to come out for a drink?
And I said,
you finished at 10 o'clock or
11
something?
o'clock.
11.
I said I finished work at 11 o'clock, so there was no way I could have made it because I just had from 11 till like 7 in the morning, and then I have to get up after all those long hours. So I was like, I finished work at 11, so there's really no time for like a cup of coffee or whatever. You asked me for a cup of coffee, right?
I don't know whether it was tea. No, it was probably a drink, alcohol.
No, you said coffee. Yes, you
Sure.
said coffee.
I'm Irish, like.
And it was summer in Portugal. It was so beautiful. Oh my God.
We ended up not having coffee. We ended up having.
Before that, I told you I finished work at 11 and I had to drop a colleague of mine where we were staying. We were staying about 10 k's away. So it was my responsibility to drop that colleague of mine home because girl was like a nun. Like that girl, not even a girl, a woman. She was like, no boys, I never kiss a girl, I never kiss a boy, I've never done never go out. I was like, girl, you live your life, I do me. So I dropped her home. That's a lot of stuff, right? I dropped her home and I said to Raymond, listen, I'm gonna have to freshen up and I have to get ready. Is that the first night?
No, that's the second night.
That was the second night.
Because the first night we went to the pub.
Yeah, so I parked the car where I used to work, and then
I drove you.
And then he picked me
home
up
as well.
Well, you picked me
night.
up. You picked me up from where I parked the car.
Picked you up where you parked the car.
And then we went to the place.
Continent.
Yes.
We went into my car. Before we even got into my car, you noticed a scratch on the outside.
Did it?
Yeah, like it was a brand new car, but had a little tiny little scratch. Like, that's what it is. She goes, oh, you've scratched the front of your car. I'm like, oh, no. Damn.
Don't miss nothing. Girls do not miss anything.
So then we went to the pub, but it was late, so we only stayed there for like 2 drinks.
Yeah,
then,
it was late because I think by the time I got to the pub, it was like 12 o'clock. And I was just worried about getting to work and trying to get enough sleep for the next day. So we didn't stay long enough. So on that very first, before we even got to the club, or to the pub, I told Raymond that I had a son. Like that was just a part of me that I wasn't, going to put away or going to. You know how some people think if you have a child, it's going to mess
I
up
had a
your.
son too.
It's going to mess up your chances with the guy. My son was everything, and I had to let the person who was going to come into my life know that that is it. My son and me are like that, So we got to the pub. We had a few drinks, and there was just a whole lot of no, there wasn't actually Portuguese. In summer in Portugal, there's a lot of English and Irish people and Germans. So it was a great atmosphere because I could hear everybody, I could understand everybody, so it was really nice. And he was very, very nice to me. So he was very nervous. I've never seen anybody so nervous.
So you still get nervous.
Yes, he still does. So that first night, that first day we went out, I came back to where I had parked my car, and he drove behind me until I got home, and I said bye, and
No kiss.
I said bye to him, and I was like, okay, fine, good night, and he drove off, and I was already in the house, and before I slept, I think he dropped me like 3 messages, I think.
Yeah, we were already messaging back and forth since I got your number.
Yeah, so now the horrible thing about the time we met was that my mother was coming the very next day after our first date, and I was like, listen, I don't really have time because my mother's going to come over to see me. My mother was coming from Scotland. She lived in Scotland, so she was coming over to see me, and just before we met, just after our first date, my mother came in the next morning. So I said to him, listen, there's no way I'm going to be able to make time for you. I'm not going to see you because you know how African mothers are like, what? A guy where who? So I said to him, listen, bye. I can only talk to you on the phone, but I cannot be seeing with you, or my mother cannot see that I'm having something. So the next day, I went to pick up my mother at the airport. I brought her back to where I was staying. And she noticed that I was constantly SMSing. You were constantly SMSing me. You were you were like, good morning, hey, what's up? Like the whole time we were SMSing. So there was no way my mother could have missed me answering back to you. So I was sitting there in the mall, and my mother was sitting up, and I was sitting on a lower chair. And then she constantly said, "Who are you SMSing? Who are you talking to?" And then you sent me your photo on that very same day.
Really?
Yes, you sent me your photo. And then I looked at it and I was like, this, because I didn't want my mother to see.
Which photo?
It was a nice photo.
Okay.
It was a nice photo. And then my mom looked at it and she's like, that's Van Damme. I'm like, you know Van Damme, the 80s, the 90s actor. He looked like him. And my mom is like, why are you talking to Van Damme? I'm like, well, it's not Van Damme. His name is Raymond. It's like, oh, okay. Oh my God. So Raymond, I had to tell my mom that I'm kind of not seeing somebody because it wasn't cemented.
Well, we just met.
Like I just said I was, how do you put it? Like I was just going to, a friend. In African terms, it's called a friend. That is bottom line. If you don't want your parents to kill you. I said, Mom, this is a friend. And it's like, right. Oh my God, the whole day, SMS. And then that night, I did not see you.
No, you had something to do on the Friday night.
Yeah.
So that was a Friday.
Yeah.
And then we met up on the Saturday. I forget how.
And then the Saturday
we went out.
I just had to tell my mom that, listen, Mom, I'm going out clubbing with a friend. And she was like, friend? What friend? Where is it from? I'm like, Mom, it's a friend. Kill it. So I went back after work, after 11 o'clock. I went back to drop my mom home. I took a shower. And then Raymond came straight to the house and My mom met you then, right?
Yeah.
My mom came out and she's like, I need to see who this person is. And I'm like, Mom, this is Raymond. Raymond, this is my mom. Okay, bye. So we went out. We do have photos of that very first second
The
night, second date that we had.
Second date, first kiss.
No, that wasn't the first kiss, Raymond. No, I kissed you in the parking lot.
That was the
it
same
was
day.
during the day.
Same day, but it was only a little peck on the cheek kind of kiss.
In the morning, before the
It was like just this. It was just,
no,
that's all it was.
Now you've got lipstick.
Okay, but that was in the car park that morning.
Okay,
the first kiss was in the nightclub that night. Like,
hey, Raymond.
okay, the real kiss.
So the first kiss was that Saturday morning, like a pack. I gave him a pack in the parking lot. I think he had taken me to see some cliff at the beach.
I had taken you for lunch.
He had taken me for lunch.
For omelette. You remember you had an omelette?
I don't remember. Raymond, you remember everything.
I bought you an omelette. I took you out for lunch.
So that was the first pack on Saturday morning, and that evening we went out like for a full night out to see. He was showing me the clubs. He was showing me, just the life.
Praia de
Rocha, and it was so amazing. It was really, really nice. And we went back to your house. Okay, during that night, yes, we had the full kiss and whatever. And then we went back to your house.
In
Avo. And then we kind of chilled. And then I told you I have to go back home. Like, no African mother's gonna let her daughter sleep out. So I went back home. He drove me back home. It was late. I think it was 4 o'clock or something like that. And I was like thinking, oh my God, 8 o'clock, I have to be at work. I was struggling. But that was our second night. And then I just had to tell my mom that he's there. He's not going anywhere. Like, he wasn't going anywhere. Like, this dude was not going anywhere. Breakfast, he'll come. Lunchtime, he'll come. When he has a minute, he'll come. After work, he'll come. And how did you meet my mom? You met her the night before?
I met her that night.
And then how?
But then we had to. Your mother was going back to Scotland, and I drove you to the airport.
Yeah. So my mom was going back to Scotland just after, I think, 4 days or so, and I was going to go back to South Africa after 3 days after she left.
Yeah, you were going back as well.
So he actually drove my mom back to the airport, and we dropped her back to the airport, and we were just together for that time being, just until I left. And then I was departing in Lisbon. So he drove me from Portimao
to
Lisbon. And that's about 3 hours drive. And my colleagues were like, no, he's just wasting your time. You cannot, think that this is now a relationship. You've just met him like 2 weeks ago. He's just playing you. Oh, my colleagues said a whole lot of things about this guy. And I was like, well...
Why?
You know what? I don't know why. I don't know. Like, they were just like throwing you under the bus. And I was like, you know what? It's my life. I can do whatever I want with it. And who I meet, who I see is up to me. And yeah, I'll meet you at the airport. It's like, well, if you're not there at the airport, I'm getting on that plane and I'm leaving with your ticket. I was like, dude, I will be there at the airport. All right, just chill. Eat a chill pill. So we drove nicely. We had such a nice drive back to Lisbon, and it was so hard to say goodbye. We actually have those photos. It was so hard to say goodbye because I think we kind of just became one, like instantly, like
very
that.
Quickly, yeah, very quickly.
Very, very quickly, and
you were like this onto me, like.
No, you were like that.
I have a photo.
Yeah, well, at the airport, of course, because I was saying bye-bye.
I'll post it. You were like...
Yes, well, I was...
Do it. Let's go, grab.
Like that.
Yes. That's what we were like.
Yeah, well, it was a good feeling, and I had to go because I had my son in my life in South Africa, but I liked what I had found as well. But I knew that, like we had mentioned, that either I was going to come back or you were going to come over, whichever way. And I did come back like in like 2 months.
Yeah, you were back in 2 months, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I was back. And
2 months.
That's
you were
how.
back before Christmas.
Yeah, I was back before Christmas. So that Christmas we did spend it together, and my son was back in Africa. Oh shit!
What's going on? Battery gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's still recording.
It is.
You have
We're
to-
back, y'all. We're back. We're back. We're back.
You have to cut
Don't
that bit
stress.
out.
We're back. I thought my battery had gone off, but we're back. So we don't gotta cut nothing. So coming back to you guys, that's how we met, and I was up and down to Portugal and back to South Africa for like I think a year.
Yep. When you came
Yeah.
3 times, and then on the 4th time was me. I went over to South Africa. Went over, and I stayed there 7 months, and then I was like, okay, well, let's go back to Portugal.
But one thing I would say about how we met is that it was divine, because I remember when I had my son, I just said I was going to live for my child until the right man came, and you know he just doesn't come. And I prayed about it for the longest of time. Even when I was going, even if I didn't go to Portugal or whatever, I was still praying for the right man. And the day that he came to say hello, at about 2:00, before the 6:00 he came to say hello. I remember going into the toilet, and it was I had said I'm going to pray every hour, I'm going to pray, or whatever time. I just gave myself that. I had given myself to prayer. So at about 2:00, before he came that day, I knelt down and I prayed, and I said, God, whatever you're going to give me, yes, I'm young, and yes, I'm a single mom. I need a man in my life. And the man you're going to bring into my life should be like a father to my son. There should not be any difference. Even if we eventually have our own children, he should be a man. He should be a father to my child before he can be my man. And I kept praying for that. Because I know these situations can be very, very difficult when the father is not the child's father and things like that. So I knew I was in that situation, but I wanted to pray for the best situation that God could provide for me. So I prayed at about 2:00, and as I was leaving the toilet, a voice said to me, if I really am serious about what I am praying for, I should delete all the numbers of like friends and things like that I had, male friends that I had. And by faith, I just started deleting the numbers. I started deleting all the numbers of all these male friends that used to kind of say, hey, what you doing? Let's go out for a night. Let's go out for a club. Let's do this. They were just friends. But these were friends that could lead to something else, but I never let it. So I started deleting those numbers, deleting. I had no male friends in my phone list. By faith, 6:00 that same day, this man came to say hello. And now it's 7 years later, he's still sitting next to me, and we have a child. I'm not trying to preach to you guys. I'm just saying that God is a miracle God. He is a God that hears our prayers. He is a God that answers you. His answer is not tomorrow. His answer is not what. His answer is how you hear him, how your faith is growing towards him. That's his answer to you. So be faithful. If you are in a situation where you're a single parent, you're looking for love, whatever. I'm not saying our love is perfect, and I'm not saying that our love is the best in the world. No, we work at it every single day. We work at it, but pray for what you want. Work hard. Nothing comes easy. Nobody said it was going to be easy, and it's never going to be easy. Sometimes he stinks to me. Sometimes I stink to him, But what keeps us together is God. What keeps us together is our children. What keeps us together is the love that we have, that we've had, that we remember all the time, that this is something to hold on to. So, without preaching... Without preaching, guys, this was our video of how we met. And some people meet, especially interracial couples, meet over the net. It's great. And I've seen some couples that are happy in marriage because they met online and things like that. This was just nature.
This was no internet.
This was just
no
nature.
Internet involved, just like
The day he said hello
Bang,
to
face
me
to face.
was the day I first saw him. Like that was
I
the
was
day
caught checking her out, you see,
I caught him checking me out.
over and over again.
And I gave him my name. Say something. I was like to my friend, they go say something. Oh, he's running away again. Say something, dude. At least I'm looking at you, you know. I'm kind of looking back at you. But anyways,
Better late than never.
come and say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Peace. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll bring you another video. We'll think of some more videos. Oh, sorry. We'll think of some more videos to bring to you guys. And peace.